The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
Different, so I get it. But these are all young people, and they're like, "You're a liar." No, we just don't remember. That's the issue here. So I think that's the listen. In his mind,
Metallica.
Maybe he thought he was in Metallica. I don't know.
Come on now.
What do you think of that, Gary? What do you think of that answer?
What I think is, are you challenging my story about asking for a raise from McMahon Sr.? Because I was.
No, I'm not saying it's not true, but in actuality, you might not have gotten $100. It might have been $61.50. You know, but we got it. As we get older, we exaggerate. You know what I mean?
He
was worth 100. What are you getting at?
It could have been 100.5. Absolutely. You know
what
I mean?
That wasn't bad in $1978.
What does that equate to now? What does 100? What does $100 equate to now? From back then.
What do you think?
I need to go online to figure that out.
Yeah, we need that calculator. But I think it's probably about $800, man. It's not a bad payday. What are you thinking, Gary? You're making $800 to announce for 3 hours.
He's still getting gypped. What are you talking about? Terrible, man.
I got to ask you this now before we go. How was Vern?
You know what? Considering the wrestlers didn't get paid anything for those TVs, it wasn't bad.
Oh my God, they did. Oh, what? How was Vern Gagne towards you? How was Vern Gagne towards you?
He was aces. He was very good toward me. Very generous.
More than $100.
He brought me out. No. He paid me well. He brought me out for 2 pay-per-views. Is that what you said? Maybe I misunderstood.
Yeah, no, I was saying more than $100. I was hoping more than $100, Gary. You know.
These were pay-per-views I did. The one Wrestle Rock at the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome.
Yeah,
and
wow.
SuperClash 3 in Chicago. And then I announced for him on a regular basis in Atlantic City for his ESPN show, the debut of that show before it moved to Las Vegas. He was always good to me.
All right, now I have to ask another question because you just keep on bringing stuff that's interesting. SuperClash 3. So I believe that's Kerry Von Erich, Jerry Lawler, right? How was Kerry Von? I'm a huge Kerry Von Erich fan. Huge Kerry Von Erich fans in general. How was Kerry Von Erich and your experiences with Kerry?
I didn't have many experiences with Kerry. That was the humdinger all though that night. He arrived with his daughter, who I think might be wrestling now, or maybe was wrestling.
Yeah, she was wrestling. That's Lacey Von Erich. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he was loaded, and I remember. So we're in the locker room, and we're sitting on folding chairs, and so he's sitting across from me, and I was a little uncomfortable with his young daughter in the locker room, but he wasn't, she wasn't, so, and no one said anything. So, because the guys are there in all states of undress.
Right.
So, so I thought, well, maybe I'll like start a conversation. We had never met. So I tried to have a conversation with him, and it didn't work out too well because, like, I would ask him a question, and his answer had nothing to do with the question. It was so. And in the meantime, as I'm trying to have a conversation, as I'm trying to talk to him, he's lacing up his boots, his wrestling boots, and when he finishes, he sits back and looks at me, gives me a very nice smile, stands up, and falls flat on his face. And the reason that he fell flat on his face is that when he was lacing up his wrestling boots, the laces were going around the leg of the chair. So he was tying himself to the chair, and when he got up, he just went bada boom. Anyway, and that was the night that he cut himself under his arm before he wrestled.
Could you define? Could you define loaded? Define loaded. You said loaded.
I can't because I wasn't there when he got loaded, so I don't.
Wait. So Jimmy, I got to ask Gary though. So when he cuts himself, when he had his blade, and that's how he cut underneath his arm.
Yeah, he forgot that he had taped the blade to his finger, and he was itchy, so he went to scratch himself, and he just sliced himself.
And they had to work that into the match, right? Because they couldn't get it patched up, right? Wow. Right. That's an incredible story. By the way, what did you think of the movie The Iron Claw? Did you have a chance to watch it?
I did not see it.
Okay.
I did not see it.
All right, Jimmy. Well, Gary, thanks again. You're the best. We love having you on. Thank you for what you've done for the industry. Thank you for all you've done. You're quite the gentleman. Jimmy, you want to send us out, please?
Yes, sir.
You've been watching. Guys. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you again, Gary.
Most welcome. And better than Samantha Irvin, you've been watching Monty and the Pharaoh with the great Gary Michael Cappetta. Till next time, later.